All right, let's talk about one of the most common and frankly most annoying sounds in any house. The toilet that just won't stop running. It's that little problem that can drive you nuts, but guess what? The fix is usually way easier than you think. Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That little hiss, that constant gurgle in the middle of the night that tells you water and your money is literally just going right down the drain. It's more than just a little noise. It's a sign something's up.
And here's the really crazy part. A single toilet that's running like that can waste up to 200 gallons of water every single day. I mean, that is a huge hit to your water bill, and it's obviously not great for the environment either.
Okay, so let's get into it. The best part is you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this out. Our first step is just a little bit of simple investigation that pretty much anyone can do to find the source of the problem.
And here's some more good news. The culprit is almost always hiding in plain sight, right there inside the toilet tank. That makes it super accessible. We're not talking about anything complicated here. We're literally just talking about lifting a ceramic lid. So your whole investigation, it really just boils down to 3 super easy steps. First, you're going to take the lid off the tank. Second, just hang out for a minute after a flush and watch and listen to what happens. And third, and this is our secret weapon, we're going to try the dye test. Okay, this is the big one. This is the test that will tell you almost everything you need to know. Just put a few drops of food coloring in the tank water, don't flush, and just wait, maybe 15 minutes. If you see any of that color magically appear down in the bowl, boom, you found your problem. It's a leaky flapper, that little rubber thing at the bottom of the tank. All right, detective work is officially over. You've probably got a pretty good idea of what's going on, so now let's actually fix it by looking at the 2 most common and, honestly, effective DIY repairs. Yep, it almost always comes down to one of these 2 parts. You can think of them as the gatekeepers of your toilet's water. Either that flapper isn't making a good seal or the fill valve isn't getting the memo to shut off when the tank is full. So if you failed that dye test, this is your fix. You know that random refilling noise in the middle of the night? People call it ghost flushing. Well, that's almost always a worn-out flapper. Check it out. Is it dirty? Is it warped? Does it feel kind of brittle? Sometimes just cleaning it works, but honestly, they're so cheap and easy to replace, you might as well just swap it for a new one. Okay, but what if the water in the tank just keeps on rising and rising until it starts spilling into that tall pipe in the middle? That pipe is called the overflow tube. If that's happening, your issue is the fill valve. The water level is supposed to stop about an inch below the top of that tube. And you can usually just adjust the float on the fill valve to get it to stop at the right spot.
But what if those simple fixes don't work? You know, part of being a smart DIYer is knowing your own limits. It's recognizing when it's time to put the tools down and just call in a professional.
This chart makes it super simple. On the left, you've got all the common stuff we've already covered, stuff you can totally handle. But if you've tried these things and the toilet is still running, or if you see something serious, like actual cracks in the porcelain or leaks on the floor, yeah, that's what the right side is for. Time to call a plumber. And that's because those symptoms can point to these kinds of bigger issues. We're talking about the seal between the tank and the bowl, the entire flush valve assembly, or even weird stuff with your home's water pressure. That's all stuff that really needs a pro's touch. Okay, let's pull all of this together. We've played detective, we've tried the most common fixes, and now we know when it's time to call for backup. Let's lock all that in with a super simple framework you can remember. Think of this as your quick reference cheat sheet. If the toilet is running on and off, start with that flapper. If the tank just won't stop filling up, adjust the water level. And if your fix just doesn't seem to take, hey, it happens. First, double check your work. But if you see any cracks or leaks outside the toilet, it's definitely pro time. And please, whatever you do, do not skip this final step. After you've done any repair, flush the toilet and just wait. Listen, really listen. Make sure that water shuts off completely and that the tank level is right where it should be. This little final check is what makes your fix a real permanent solution.
So there you have it. In just a few minutes, you've totally taken control of a really common household problem. You've figured out how to diagnose it, how to fix it, and even when to ask for help. It just shows you what a little bit of knowledge can do. So that just leaves one question, right? What's next?